Well, I'm not an expert at Zoom, but I'm getting much better than I was. See if I can get my display set up and I'll be ready to go. All right. Well, good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. We've got Pastor Jason Dorsey with us this evening. Jason, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for being with us, Jason. Pastors, Lone Oak Assembly of God, and I appreciate you being here tonight to open us up with a word of prayer. And sir, the floor is yours.
Glad to do it. Thanks to all of you for your service in our city. Let's just go to the Lord. Father, we thank you for your blessing on us. We thank you, Lord, for your unconditional love. We thank you, Lord, for your patience with us, your kindness, your generosity, your love for us, God, is beyond our understanding. I thank you, Father, for these great leaders, these servants in our community who are giving their time and their talents, their influence to make decisions that will make our community better, to where we can work together, serve together, grow together. God, I just pray that you would continue to unify us as a community. Lord, work in our hearts. God, I pray that as you work through us and all those who trust in you, Lord, that you will help us to live by your character, to live by your word. God, I pray over this group of leaders, over this council, and over our community, that your peace would reign in us, Lord. God, I pray that you would provide healing, that you would provide your provision, Lord, that you would provide your protection, and that you would watch over not only this meeting, but every decision that's made by all of these leaders that are affecting and influencing all of us as a community. We pray that you'd give them strength, wisdom, that you would hold them up, God, that they would sense your peace and your presence and your joy, Lord. And we give you the thanks and the praise for every good thing in our lives, God. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Thank you so much for that. All right, Jerry Beth, if you would, please call the roll.
Pastor Will Mayer.
Here.
Mr. Philip Howell.
Here.
Miss Stewart.
Here.
Mr. Kelly Rather.
Kelly's there.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Mrs. Bridges.
Here.
Mrs. Elmore.
Here.
Mr. Biles.
Here.
Mr. Ephraim Jones. I see him. Ephraim, you here? And Mr. Raymond Hatton.
Here.
All right. And Mr. Michael Florence.
Michael called earlier and said he was not going to be able to make the meeting tonight.
Okay. Mr. Coy Butler.
Here. Glad to have you, Kelly.
All right. Mayor, we do have a quorum.
Thanks, Jerry Beth. All right. First on the agenda is the approval of the December 14th, 2020 minutes. Packets were made available like they are most every week by Thursday afternoon. Sent out digitally. You guys have had an opportunity for the last 3 or 4 days. We'll make sure everybody's had an opportunity to review the packet, the information in it, and the agenda. So I will take a motion to approve the minutes from last month's council.
Motion so moved.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Raymond Hatton and seconded by Alice Bridges. Any discussion on it? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
Minutes approved. All right. We had the 2020 Executive Board Report was on the agenda. We're going to take that out tonight. They're going to report next City Council. They got an executive meeting coming up. But who we do have here, if there's no objections by the council, is Val Turner, who would like to be in addition to the public comments. She's got some good information about Carver. And so if there's no objections, Ms. Val, if you're still with us and you can hear us,
Yes,
you've got the
okay.
floor, ma'am.
I'm here. Can you all hear me?
Yes. Good to see you.
Okay. Well, thank you for giving me a few minutes to just chat with you today. It's truly appreciated. Carver is just having a fantabulous, that's one of my words, a fantabulous couple of years. I used to say fantabulous year because of last year, but now we're into 2021 and things are still going so well for us. First, I did send out this brochure to many of our members, actually to all of our members and everyone on our mailing list. If you got one, show me a hand if you received one here at this meeting. Yeah, I thought a few of you did. If any of the rest of you would like one, just send me a note. You can send me a chat or send me an email at valturner, valanturner@gmail.com. And I'll see that you get one. But it talks about all the wonderful things that are happening with Carver right now. But today I wanted to talk about two things. First of all, we received a grant in collaboration with the VISTA program. And my camera just goes off sometime. I don't know why it does that. All right, but it's back on. And we received a grant for Martin Luther King's birthday. It was $1,000 and we supplemented a little bit to do some things here in Lone Oak. And I am excited about it. So first of all, tomorrow in your mail, you're going to get a card that looks like this. Every person that lives in Lone Oak is going to get a card in their mail telling them about what we're planning for Martin Luther King Day. Okay, so if you can't see it right now, you'll be able to see it tomorrow when you get yours in your mail. We're planning two things. First of all, a day of service. It's asking everyone in Lone Oak to do some small service for someone else in Lone Oak. And the suggestions keep it within your little pod, so to speak, because of COVID-19. We don't want to encourage people to be out there doing things, but maybe you can like help your neighbor out, you know, take someone's trash out. Maybe you can do service for your parent, or maybe a kid can do service for their teacher, and so on like that. And then it asks you to post about that on our Facebook page. And it's got there's a hashtag. You guys, I don't know about hashtags, but there's a hashtag on the mailer for those of you who do. The other thing we're having is an Mlk Day Caravan. All right, so it advertises it on this. The caravan is on MLK Day on the 18th, which is next Monday. It's going to start at 1 o'clock from the high school parking lot. We're going to drive around Lone Oak. The plan is to play the I Have a Dream speech. I want to thank Chief Edwards for helping us map out a route. And we're just going to show our support of the vision of nonviolence, of unity, of love, of friendship, all those things that were such an important part of Martin Luther King's philosophy and still are. So we're just going to honor those things and do a caravan, and then we're going to return back to the high school parking lot and have a short outside presentation where everyone stays in their cars. And we have one of those FM transmitters where you'll hear just a few speeches. We've got a dance group that's going to do a little something from Lana's studio. And it's just going to be a day of celebration. So I want to invite you all to come out to do that on the 18th at 1 o'clock. Come out and be a part of that. Many of you know that our major fundraiser of the year is typically a Black History Month banquet. We're not going to be able to have our banquet this year, but instead we are creating a video about the history of Carver. It's really like Black history in Lone Oak. That's what it's going to be. And it's going to be a very short video, professionally done, that we're going to debut on Facebook and then have available for people to see. So those are our two things that we're working on right now. And there is more to come with our resource center that's coming up that we're working on renovating right now. And it's just an exciting time. So if you ever have any questions, just feel free to email me, If you've got some ideas, let me know. If you want to become a member of Carver, we want you to be a member of the Carver Alumni Association. Okay, so thank you so much for a few minutes to talk today.
Absolutely. Does anybody got any questions for Ms. Turner? How's your mom doing?
She's doing well. She's
Good.
been cooking her pound cakes. I shouldn't say that because then everybody here will expect one.
Tell her hello.
You have to get on the list, but she's doing well. Thank you for asking.
Thank you, Val. All right. Appreciate that. All right. Next on the agenda is the Economic Development Report by Mr. Gene Eagle. Sir, you got the floor.
We don't have any new active requests for information that came in this month. And that's really what I wanted to share with you, is that no new requests. I'll take any questions if any of the council members have any.
Jean, it's Suzette.
Hi, Suzette.
Do we have anything on the horizon that you can see or tell us about?
Well, I've been speaking with Trey and with Karen Dill, and I think mainly we just want to try to focus again on our economic development plan. In terms of new projects, the answer is no. Okay, but we need to continue to get ready for them and to focus on the things that we really need to pay close attention to. I think with the new purchasers of the Remington steel shells and shotgun shells plant and boosting their employment, and the construction of the new Amazon fulfillment center at Galloway, along with our existing companies, we have lots of jobs here. What we need to continue to focus on is our housing. And I think that's going to be one of the things we're going to take up again in our planning for this next year. And that's really what I have to say, Suzette.
Suzette, I'll add one thing to that too, is one of the things I've got
Okay,
planned.
thank you.
Something I've got planned, hopefully before the summer, depending on how COVID protocols fall, is a small business challenge. And Gene's been adamant since he got this position that this economic development is an ecosystem, and it's more than just factories and jobs. It's housing, and it's the small business market too, as well. And so, if you guys remember, the Building Vibrant Communities book, passed out copies 2 years ago. All the council members got those. In the back of that, one of the chapters is a small business challenge. And I'd encourage each of you guys to check that out. That's something I want to see us do and host and put on and encourage the small business owners in Lone Oak. And that's just one slice of the economic development pie that I think we can put some focus in on. So I'm open to anybody's feedback on that later outside of the agenda, but I just wanted to piggyback on Gene's point. All right. Any other questions for Gene before we move on? All right. Thank you, Gene. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Public Works report. Jim Kelly, you get the floor.
Can you hear me, Mayor?
Yeah, doing well. Thanks.
All right. Standard monthly report. Water loss at 14.16% this month. Nothing really noticeable on our report. I do know that leaf and limb and asphalt have been and are going to be a priority at the moment. One action item I do have tonight is a change order that we discussed back in December of 2019. I brought it back then just to inform y'all that I brought it up last December. All right, I'm gonna continue. anyways, we discussed this in December of 2019. It's for some items that were not on the original contract for the water improvements, phase one. It was slick bores and ductile iron fittings. But the change order is in the amount of $188,725.
All right, with that, I'll take a motion to approve the purchase.
So moved, Corey Butler.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, I got a motion.
Second, Suzette.
I got a motion by Coy Butler, seconded by Suzette Elmore. Is there any discussion or questions for Jim? All right, if not, then we'll take it to the vote. All in favor? Don't forget to unmute your mics. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. Jim, do you have anything else for us?
No, that's it. Unless anybody has any questions.
All right, moving on. Thanks, Jim. All right, Chief.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
In front of you, you have your monthly report, or my monthly report. We had 224 complaint or dispatched calls for December. We had 123 911 calls. Out of our inmates, we had $660 billed to immigration and $6,630 billed to the state, for a total of $7,290. Second part of your of the packet shows the tickets by ward, and then I also included this month for this meeting a year-end statistics from the police department. Some of these, the first one I believe that's in your packet is the offenses by violation in month. If you can look through those, if you have any questions, you can let me know. Arrests, and then I want to really look at the stolen property value for 2020. For the total year, we had reported a value of $219,053 worth of stolen property. Your second page there is the amount for recovered property, and it shows by month what property was recovered, for a grand total of $159,855. The difference of that for unrecovered property for the value was $69,198. So I want to commend my staff for working hard to recover property that's stolen out in the city. Anybody have any questions on those?
Chief Edwards,
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to say I really appreciated all this information. I thought it was very interesting to see everything, all the categories by month, and I appreciate you including that.
Well, I want to make sure that of course, the city council knows, and if anybody in the city wants to know what we're doing, they just need to come and talk to me, and I will pull up the numbers and show them what we've got going on, and try to be as very transparent as I can. Anybody have anything else on those numbers?
Good job.
Thank you. I've come into a little dilemma. Of course, I celebrated my first year last week, and I feel like it was a great year other than COVID related issues and different things. But I have had some chargers that have had unexpected mechanical issues and untimely issues. I feel like that we had a really great year with our fleet. But then there at the end of the month and beginning of this month, things started to fall apart on me. In the preliminary budget for 2021, I have asked for a Charger and a Durango. I had different plans with this Durango, but since we are having these issues with the patrol fleet, I'm requesting that we go ahead and order a Charger from the state bid through Smart Dodge and Whitehall. The turnaround is 10 to 12 weeks. And I just need to order that. I've got another thing that's going to be in reference to a Charger, but that's going to come later on in the meeting. If I need to explain that now, I will. But right now, I'm wanting the permission to order a 2021 Dodge Charger through Smart Dodge in Whitehall, who holds the state bid for $24,688.
Move that we accept the bid from Smart Dodge for the 2021 vehicle for the police department.
Second, Coy Butler.
Good. I got a motion by Ms. Bridges and seconded by Coy Butler. Any discussion or questions for Chief Edwards? And we'll move to a vote. Don't forget to unmute. All in favor of the purchase, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. And we'll wait. You'll see on the bottom of your agenda, the Ordinance 775, which will waive the competitive bidding for the purchase of that car. And we'll take care of that business at the end of the agenda.
Do I need to wait to talk about the outfitting till then?
Well, are you asking for purchase of the outfitting now or later?
Well, I mean, the outfitting bid is for 2 Chargers.
I'm going to seek Regina's advice on this. What's the best way to keep this ordered? You're muted. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm unmuted. You can go ahead and get approval for the equipment. I mean, we're not going to buy it until we need it. So.
Okay.
I might suggest that we go ahead and hold out of order the resolution about the purchase of the other vehicle too. That way it'll make more sense consecutively in the minutes as well.
You're saying do not vote on Ordinance 775. Is that what you're saying, Ginger?
I'm saying let's go ahead and vote on that ordinance, even though it's at the end of the agenda, so that the bid on the multiple units will make more sense.
That's not a problem. We talked about it before we entered into council, how we were going to do that. So it's not a problem. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now. How about that? And then we can talk about the accessories that Matt needs for the vehicle, okay?
Do I need to start?
No, I'm going to get a motion. If somebody will give it to put Ordinance 775 on the floor, we'll go ahead and run through that. And like I said, get it documented in the minutes, and then we'll proceed with your second and third request, okay?
So moved, Coy Butler.
Maybe just a quick explanation as to why we're doing 2 different purchases would be helpful to the council.
Okay. While I was searching for what to do in the past week and a half, 2 weeks, I've discovered that Red River Dodge in Heber Springs has an actual cars that we can get automatically. The same make and model, the same motor, police pursuit package. The only thing is Red River does not hold the state bid for the Charger. Smart Dodge has the bid for the Dodge Charger. They are selling it for the exact same price, $24,688. And I'm requesting permission to purchase this Charger because it will come within the week or so and get me started on trying to outfit it. so I can have some relief on the cars that we have now that are being driven consistently.
Very well. I had a motion, I think, by Coy. I heard a second, but I can't tell you who it was from. Do I have a second to put 775 on the floor?
I'll second it.
So moved.
Okay, so I've got a motion by Coy Butler and seconded by Alice Bridges.
Okay. Ordinance number 775, an ordinance to waive competitive bidding for the purchase of a new police car, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. Whereas both Lone Oak City Ordinance number 570 and Arkansas Code annotated 14-58-303 require competitive bidding for the purchase of supplies, apparatus, equipment, materials, and services, the cost of which is in excess of $20,000. And whereas the city is in need of a new police car because 2 of the Lone Oak Police Department vehicles have recently experienced unexpected catastrophic mechanical failures that will require replacement or significant repairs. And whereas a 2021 Dodge Charger Pursuit RWD V8 VIN number 2C3CDXAT0MH532230 has been very recently located at Red River Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat hereinafter Red River and can be immediately purchased for the sum of $24,688 as shown in the invoice attached hereto as Exhibit A. And whereas the city has further determined that competitive bidding, if necessary, is not presently feasible or practical and could unnecessarily harm the city's functional capability to perform its stated goals of providing a safe, well-equipped police department and of providing the best services to its citizens as possible if the purchase of this police car is not completed soon. Now, therefore, be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Lone Oak, Arkansas. Number 1, the city is in need of a new police car because 2 of the Lone Oak Police Department vehicles have recently experienced unexpected catastrophic mechanical failures that will require replacement or significant repairs. And number 2, Red River has a 2021 Dodge Charger Pursuit RWD V8 police car VIN number 2C3CDX8 AT0MH532230 for sale for the sum of $24,688 that the Lone Oak Police Department believes is necessary to purchase to replace one of the 2 vehicles that have experienced an unexpected catastrophic mechanical failure. Number 3, that it is not feasible or practical to require competitive bidding for this limited purpose by the City of Lone Oak, Arkansas, as required by law, because the Lone Oak Police Department is currently short 2 vehicles which have experienced unexpected catastrophic mechanical failures, and this vehicle is necessary for the Lone Oak Police Department to continue its duties of safeguarding the city. Number 4, that therefore the requirement of competitive bidding for the purchase of these goods and services is hereby waived. Number 5, that the city is hereby authorized to purchase the 2021 Dodge Charger Pursuit RWD V8 VIN number 2C3CDXAT0MH532230 for the sum of $24,688 and no $100. That number 6, that because maintaining a safe, well-equipped police department is necessary for the city to provide its functional capabilities and for the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens of the city, and because the purchase of this police car must be completed soon because of the unexpected vehicle shortage experienced by the Lone Oak Police Department, an emergency is declared to exist, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and approval.
Thank you very much. I'll take a motion to accept the first reading.
Motion to accept the first reading.
Second.
We got a motion by Miss Alice and a second by Coy Butler.
I don't think my meat was working.
Are there any questions or discussion? All right, we'll take it to a vote. Don't forget to unmute. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, I'll take a motion to suspend the rules for second and third reading, title only.
So moved. Coy Butler.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you. We've got a motion by Coy, seconded by Kelly Rather.
Ordinance number 775, an ordinance to waive competitive bidding for the purchase of a new police car, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
Any discussion on that? I'll take a motion to accept the second and third reading, title only.
So moved. Coy Butler.
Second.
Thank you. Motion made by Coy Butler, seconded by Kelly Rather.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, you coming in?
All right, thank you.
All right. Don't forget to unmute. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. I'll take a motion now to adopt ordinance 775.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. I got a motion by Coy Butler and seconded by Kelly Rather. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Lastly, I need a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
So
Motion.
moved.
Second.
Okay, got a motion by Coy and seconded by Mrs. Bridges. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right. Ordinance 775 is done, and we'll mark it off the agenda. Thank you very much. All right, Chief, back to your report, accessories, and
Yes. Now that those have passed, I'm requesting to equip both of these chargers through Dana Fleet Safety or Dana Safety Supply. The total cost to equip both of these vehicles is $13,032.02.
Mayor, I make a motion that we approve that bid to outfit the police cruiser.
Second, Suzette.
All right, I got a motion by Coy Butler and seconded by Suzette Elmore. Any discussion on it?
I have a question about the Red River bid. I noticed on the second page, it says prices and specifications subject to change without notice does not include sales tax. Does that mean we don't have to pay sales tax or?
Well, shoot.
Good question.
I'm on the second page, the Red River Dodge bid.
We don't have to pay sales tax on our vehicles.
Okay, so that's just a given.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Chief, what else you got?
Excuse me.
We've got a motion, a second, and I asked for discussion on it. So hold on a second. Are there any other questions on that? And we'll take it to a vote. Don't forget to unmute. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
I came in late. I'm going to ask it one more time. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Back to you, Chief.
Lastly, I've got in front of you, you've got an estimate of revised contract with the Lonoke School District for school resource officer. Officer Calhoun has resigned from his full-time status as SRO. He is going to be with us still part-time capacity as an officer, but I'm having to fill that position with the school. After going through my staff and figuring out what the best fit, decided to move Adrian Page to the school. He's already been an SRO before. He does great with the children and the young adults. And I have submitted a proposal to the school district in reference to the difference of pay, because Officer Page does make more than Officer Calhoun at this current moment. For the spring 2021 semester, this is what we're only dealing with right now, is the difference is $494.20 more is what the school is going to have to pay. They actually have this, and they're going to be voting on this tonight through the school board meeting. And I'm just asking for the city council to accept this proposal, as long as we, get a yay from the school board. If they do not vote yay on this, we will revisit this next month.
So I'll take a motion to accept the billing estimate for the SROs as presented.
So moved, Corey Butler.
Second.
Thank you. We got a motion by Corey Butler and seconded by Kelly Rather. Any discussion on it? Any questions for Chief? Okay.
If not, thank you very much.
Well, let's vote on it. Sorry.
Sorry.
That's okay. Don't forget to unmute. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Now you can celebrate, Chief.
Thank you very much. I know that was a lot of stuff going on this meeting, but thank you, and y'all have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Roy Don, you're up. You got the floor, sir.
I don't have a lot. The main thing is it's getting close to baseball and softball season. And what I'm asking for the council is at the next meeting, I'm going to ask if we're going to be allowed to play at that time. And because we need to get, if we are, we've got to start registrations and everything around the 11th. And we have a city council meeting February the 8th. So at that time, I'll be coming to ask if we're going to be allowed to play ball out here at the ballpark this year. And that gives y'all a month. If you have any questions on how we're going to try to have it and everything, you can give me a call between now and the next meeting. We'll try to, that way we'll try to work things out to make it best for the kids and the parents out here.
Ron, can you highlight the other cities that you've been in touch with and what they're doing already?
BB's council over at BB, they voted here last week for them to have a season. Cabot is having a season, and Hazen is having a season. So is Sherwood, Benton, and Bryant. That's the ones I know for sure is having a season right now.
Are there any communities you've been in touch with that have said no already?
No, nobody said no. Everybody's thinking they're going to be playing high school ball and high school softball, and the kids are in school. So why can't the kids be able to play ball out here this spring and summer?
Okay. Anything else for the council?
No, sir.
Any questions for Mr. Gordon? All right. Thank you, Rodon.
Thank you.
Mr. Mike Brown, you get the floor, sir, with the community center report.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. For December, you got my report. My membership was up a little bit. Was kind of going through last year on my membership, and it kind of follows the way COVID's going. We started out strong, and COVID hit, and we went down quite a bit, rebounded. COVID hits again. So it's went down now with the vaccine. It's slowly going back up. I want to announce my member of the month, Mr. Josh Smith. And if any of you know Josh, I'll call him Captain America. He looks just like the Captain American guy that's is in the movies. He's well built. So he's my member of the month. My action items for December, I want to purchase 2 cross trainers to replace 2 cross trainers. The ones that we're replacing are, I think, well over 10 years old, and we try to stay current with our equipment. What I want to replace them with is 2 V88 cross trainers with taxes and shipping and all, $25,739.16. My next item would be the pool UV sanitizing system, and that's for it sanitizes the water where we don't have to use as much chemicals that we have in the past. And I've been trying to come up with a dollar amount of how much we would save. And last year, was an anomaly, which, our pool with COVID, it'll save us 50 to 70% of what we would spend in chemicals. For 2019, I think we spent probably close to 6,000. So, cut that in half, it would be 3,000. And I think I put the number down for 2020. It would, I think, cut us down to like $1,300, $1,400, and purchase a chlorine feeder, an acid pump with the scrubber for $25, $18, $30. And with all of that, that'll make our back end of a pool. Once we get this pool pack in, the whole back end of the pool will be brand new. And talk to Chad. He's our new pool director. And in May, when more vaccines get out, we're going to have a re-grand opening of the pool to kind of show everything off. We're going to do a lot of fixing up and painting, get it inflatable, and have a week where we have a big grand opening, a re-grand opening. So with the council's approval, I'd like to get these 3 purchases approved. That's all I've got, Mayor.
All right. Are there any questions? All right. What I'd like to do is just to be succinct, is to vote on all 3 of these as just get approvals for them all at once. Unless anybody has objections, I'd be happy to go A, B, and C, but I don't see any reason why we can't just approve all 3 of these purchases as they've been presented in your city council package.
Mayor, Yep, I second.
Okay, I've got a motion by Ephraim Jones and seconded by Coy Butler. Mike laid it out what we're getting, and they're all tips, taps, contracts. Are there any questions? Is there any discussion on the items?
And Mayor, I forgot to add in there's trade-in. We're trading in those 2 ellipticals, cross trainers. We're trading those, the 2 we have, that's included. He took the price off, and that's included in the invoice as a trade-in.
Okay. Any other questions for Mike before we take it to a vote? Okay, then. Don't forget to unmute. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, those purchases carry. Thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you.
All right. Next on the list is Jim Gosden, who's not with us this evening. He has been putting a lot of work into the next quarterly condemnation meeting, and you guys have the addresses with the information that he's put together for you, partial numbers and everything in your packet. So if you guys have questions about that, what I'd ask you to do is contact Jeremy during the week sometime and discuss it. All right. So we're gonna move down to Chief Wittenberg with the fire report.
Good evening. I've got last month's reports in front of you first. We had 25 total calls. We were on scene almost 17 hours, had an average attendance of 3.5. Behind that, I've got the year's totals. If y'all just want to look through that on your leisure, if you got any questions, just let me know. I do have 2 items for purchase tonight. One is a chief/medical vehicle that we had budgeted for last year due to COVID. We didn't get it ordered in time, so I'm going to order it now. It's going to take 10 to 12 weeks to get in, so the budget and everything will be passed by then, so we don't have to worry about it. The price on it is at the top of the page in red, $32,057. That is with the add-ons that are in the back. I know they're not checked off, but we did some add-ons onto it because of the fire truck. It may be off-road, cooling stuff like that. So we did add on a couple options.
All right, I'll take a motion to approve the purchase.
So moved. Coy Butler.
Second.
All right, I heard Coy's motion and I heard Miss Alice's second. I know there were a couple that jumped in there, so I'll say seconded by Miss Alice Bridges. Is there any questions or discussion on it? Take it to a vote then. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
All right, let me ask again. Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, the other thing I got is for our responding app. It's what we use on our phones to get alerts. It's the 1-year contract. We do this every year because something bigger and better might come out. So we don't want to pay for a 3 or 5 year subscription if something comes out. I plan on probably changing this towards the end of the contract this year, depending on the software that I'm fixing to purchase next month that I'll tell you about next month. This has a feature built into that. We don't have to pay for it right now, but if I decide that this is better, we may do that later. But for right now, we're going to stay with this. It's I Am Responding, and it's $800.
Now I'll take a motion.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. I got a motion by Ephraim Jones.
Second.
Oh, and our first second I heard was by Kelly Rather. Motion by Ephraim and seconded by Kelly. Any discussion or questions?
Mayor, it's actually $810.
Sorry, I didn't see
That's
that.
okay. We have to pay that processing fee.
I did add that in the minutes because I seen that it was 810.
All right. So Ephraim,
I'll make that motion to
thank you very much.
purchase it for $810.
Appreciate that. Kelly,
Second.
thank you very much. All right, motion by Ephraim and seconded by Kelly. Any last questions on that? All right, take it to a vote then. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
So I'll ask one more time. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
That's all I have, unless you have any questions.
Thanks, Chief. We'll move on. Any questions for Chief? All right, appreciate it. All right, under old business, we've got a few points to discuss. If you guys remember last city council, Fennell Purifoy had done a good job, fantastic job for us, submitting a report, the water intrusion that we've got coming into City Hall building. This building's 100 years old. As of last year, it was 100 years old. So it's holding up pretty good, but we've got some water intrusion we've got to fix. And they came and gave us a report of what the issues were, and then they managed a full RFP for us through permission of the city council. And that's what you got in your packet. You'll see the bid tabulations. They had 5 responses in the email that was given by Fennell Purifoy. Recommend that the city council. They basically gave a good report on all the contractors and just recommended the lowest bid. So that's what I'm going to ask the city council to do, is to accept the lowest bid to fix the water leak in City Hall for $13,700 by Bray Sheet Metal.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make that motion to spend the 13 or whatever price it was to fix the water.
13,700. Okay.
Second, Raymond Hatton.
Thank you. Motion by Ephraim Jones and seconded by Raymond Hatton. Any questions or discussion on it? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
There we go.
I mean, mine went down for about a minute.
Shh.
Okay, motion carries. Thank y'all. All right, next is the land procurement. We need to purchase 4 acres of land south of Mr. D.O. Kittler's current solar array for the installation of our own solar array. And Mr. Phil Powell's been managing that discussion and managing terms, and he's been working with Ginger to get a contract drafted. So I'm gonna turn it over for a quick summary of where we're at with that. Philip, you got the floor.
This is mentioned in the last meeting somewhat. What you have is the proposed contract that It reflects the terms that Mr. Kittler and I have discussed, and Ginger put this together. It has specific language in there to give us the 120 days, I believe it is, to get the Intergy approval for the interconnection agreement. That application has been filed, so we should be well within the 120 days in getting that back. If, of course, the interconnection application is too expensive, we could be looking at moving elsewhere, but we don't expect that. Mr. Kittler, several things that he asked, but one was if we buy this property, if for some reason abandon this project, that he have the right to buy that property back at that same price, because he would not want us to own that, sell it to somebody else joining his array for some other reason. So that's reasonable. That language is there as well. He has not seen this contract yet. What we're asking at this point is for the council to approve this contract, for the mayor to sign the contract, be presented to Mr. Kittler. If for some reason he has any changes, we will have to have a special meeting later this month anyway to pass the final budget, and we can address it again at that time. Don't expect any real changes.
Ginger, do you have anything you want to add to it? Philip, you were on the road today, I think, and what we came to an understanding before council started is that we were going to probably wait until the terms have been agreed upon by both sides, and then we'll present the contract and resolution to sign the contract at the January 25th special city council meeting.
That's fine. I was traveling today, so I will get that contract in his hands and have a phone conversation with him so we can resolve that.
Okay, that's easy.
I think that Philip covered it well, so there's nothing I have to add to it.
Fantastic. All right, well then we'll move on unless there's any questions for myself or Ginger or Philip on the procurement piece. All right, thank you. All right, in your packet, you guys received last month a breakdown of the CARES Act funds that we would be receiving. And I want to take an opportunity just to kind of applaud Regina. She's pretty much taken a college course on the CARES Act fund and how to apply for it, and to make sure that the city of Lone Oak received every penny that we were owed or entitled to. And so thanks to her, we have $168,177.34 worth of funds coming our way. The breakdown that we presented for approval last city council is the same breakdown in your packet this month. There were no changes, unless we might have made one change in between then, which was we took $5,000 from the concession stand and put it towards the Main Street program. I think that change might have been since y'all got your last packet, but irregardless, I put this little illustration together for you guys to see. We got $168,000 that's coming in. We've spent $23,014.67 to date on COVID prevention. So we're going to reimburse those funds. That leaves us with $145,000. And then we've allocated 4 separate projects totaling $133,600, one of which we've already voted on a few minutes back, and that was the UV sanitation equipment for the community center pool. $48,000, the land procurement that we just spoke about. A note to pay on the concession stand because of the crummy year that we had and the lack of baseball revenue that we had coming in, and $15,000 stimulus to kind of really get our Main Street program up and running. All right, so those are the 4 proposed uses that we are asking the city council to approve. All of that will leave a surplus of $11,562.67 in the general fund. So I will take a motion to approve the purchases as they've been presented.
So moved. This is Ryan.
Second, Ephraim.
I've got a motion by Ryan, seconded by Ephraim Jones. Are there any questions? Any discussion? And we'll take it to a vote as presented. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any opposed? Motion passes. All right. Last, under old business, we have a bond council recommendation. You guys remember we asked city council for permission to release an RFP to procure bond council services for the Mccrary Energy contract. And we have utilized some of the same volunteers that helped us through the Mccrary procurement process to select and make a recommendation for city council's approval for bond council. I'm going to turn over to Philip quickly if there's anything he wants to add or summarize that process.
Not really. We had three responses, all very capable. We looked at, of course, their qualifications. We also looked at projects of this type they have handled thus far with energy savings projects and financing of those. And that's really where we made a decision to go with the Mitchell Williams firm as bond counsel.
I thought those were included in the packet, but there were three firms that responded to our RFP, and we have decided to make a recommendation of Mitchell Williams, like Philip said, to the city council. So I'll take a motion to approve Mitchell Williams as our bond counsel as we move forward to the project, to the energy project.
I'm sorry, can I intervene for just a second? So the one we're using is who again? Mitch Williams?
So I'm asking for approval by the city council to select Mitchell Williams.
Mitchell? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll move, Mayor Coy Beller.
I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by
Second.
Butler and seconded by Ephraim Jones. Any questions? Any comments? Okay, we'll take it to a vote then. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you very much. Motion carries. All right, moving on to new business. First resolution is 1-1-2021. It's a resolution to adopt the city code of ethics. You guys got the code of ethics presented in your packets. I appreciate all of you taking it seriously and under consideration. It's basically a baseline and a contract between the public officials and the community as to our expectations and how we expect to conduct ourselves in public and amongst each other on conducting city business. So with that said, I'll take a motion to put resolution 1-1-2021 on the floor.
So moved. This is Ryan.
Second, Coy Beller.
I got a motion by Ryan Biles and seconded by Coy Butler. Ginger?
Resolution 1-1-2021, a resolution establishing a city code of conduct. Whereas the City Council of Lonoke, Arkansas desires to adopt a code of conduct as a reference and guide for its members. Now therefore be it resolved by the City Council of Lonoke, Arkansas, that the Lonoke City Council wishes to adopt the attached document entitled City of Lonoke Code of Conduct and Ethics. Do you want me to read the actual code of conduct or just the resolution?
If you would, actually just read the second page of the principles and guidelines. The first page is essentially expectations as outlined by the municipal league. That's more cut and dry, but the principles and guidelines is just one page. If you don't mind, I'd appreciate that.
I think we'd either read the whole thing or not at all. So I'll just read the whole
That's fine.
exit it then.
That's fine. Thanks.
City of Lonoke Code of Conduct and Ethics. This written code of conduct applies to all publicly elected officials within the city of Lonoke. It shall serve to establish a basis for confidence in the city's ability and establish public trust between the mayor, city council, and the citizens of Lonoke. The principles and expectations set forth shall promote civility, trust, and goodwill. Expectations for the mayor of Lonoke. The mayor presides over meetings of the council. The mayor presides over the council in a manner designed to promote high standards of democratic governance and chairs meetings with efficiency and fairness, never discriminating against any speaker, whether council member or member of the public, based on the speaker's point of view. The mayor will not use his or her authority to thwart the democratic process. Example number 1, the mayor will not cancel or adjourn meetings for the purpose of preventing a matter from coming to a vote. Example number 2, the mayor will not refuse to allow a matter to be voted upon if it has received the necessary motion and second. The mayor is required to sign all ordinances, resolutions, and city council minutes. The mayor in cities and towns with mayor council forms of government may veto any ordinance, resolution, or order adopted by the council. The mayor has the same speaking rights as any other members of the city council. The mayor demonstrates honesty, humility, and integrity always. Expectations for the Lonoke City Council. Council members shall set the time and place for regular city council meetings and are obligated to practice responsible stewardship over city resources. Council members demonstrate respect, kindness, consideration, and courtesy to others always. Council members prepare in advance of meetings and are familiar with the issues on the agenda. Council members serve as a model of leadership and civility to the municipality. The city council shall strive to inspire public confidence in Lonoke city government. All members of the city council shall have equal votes. No council member has more power than any other council member. All members should be treated with equal respect. Council members should understand that they have no individual authority outside of an official quorum and shall conduct themselves on the basis of this fact. Council members should inform the mayor and the city clerk of their intent to be absent from a council meeting or plans to leave a council meeting before it's adjourned. Council members acknowledge that all electronic transmittals sent or received in performance of their duties as a public official are subject to the Arkansas Freedom of Information Act. Principles and guidelines. This council is composed of individuals with a wide variety of backgrounds, personalities, values, experiences, opinions, and goals. Despite this diversity, each council member has chosen to serve in public office in order to preserve the past, protect the present, and enable the future posterity of the city of Lonoke. This is a common goal that must be acknowledged as council members will inevitably work through contentious issues. Number 1, the practice of civility at public meetings. Difficult questions, tough challenges to particular points of view, and criticism of ideas and information are legitimate elements of free democracy in action. This does not, however, allow council members to make belligerent, personal, impertinent, slanderous, threatening, abusive, or disparaging comments. No shouting or physical actions that could be construed as threatening will be tolerated. Therefore, council members will avoid personal comments with the intent to offend other council members, support the role of the mayor in maintaining order, be respectful of other members of the city council, boards, commissions, committees, city staff, and the public by refraining from abusive conduct, personal charges, or verbal attacks. Fully participate in council meetings and other public meetings while demonstrating respect, consideration, and courtesy. Treat a fellow council member with the respect he or she would expect to receive in return. Address citizens, employees, committee members, and fellow council members with respect. Request the opportunity to speak and address the council through the mayor, mayor pro tem, or other member conducting the meeting. Recognize fellow council members and guest speakers by their formal names and/or appropriate titles. After initial acknowledgement, the terms Mr. or Ms. may be used. Be respectful of others' time and be brief and prepared in making remarks. Provide a justification for their action when making a motion or counter motion. Conduct with the public. Personal concerns are often the reason citizens come before the council to speak. Council members should be aware that council's posture will impact the speaker's ability to relax and communicate effectively. Therefore, council members will be polite and professional to speakers and treat them with respect. Limit comments to relevant issues and avoid statements with personal bias. Remain seated when someone is speaking at the podium. Maintain a posture of active listening. Ask for clarification while avoiding debate. Do not engage in personal attacks of any kind under any circumstances. Practice transparent conversation and make no promises on behalf of the council or staff. Make no personal comments regarding other council members or their personal affairs. You're still muted, Mayor, if you said something just now.
Thank you for that. I appreciate you reading that, and I'll take a motion to accept the first reading.
So moved, Coy Beller.
Second, Suzette Elmore.
Thank you much. I got a motion by Coy Butler and seconded by Ms. Elmore. Any questions or discussion on it?
Mr. Mayor, this is Ryan. Just 2 quick points. One, I want to thank you for instituting this code of conduct 2 years ago and appreciate the opportunity to re-engage it for this term for the next 2 years. And secondly, I just want to thank my colleagues on the council who have exemplified the points in this code of conduct. It might seem simple or might even be something that we could just dismiss and move on by, but I want to thank everyone for really taking this to heart. And it's a joy to serve alongside our colleagues here. And I want to thank everyone for taking this seriously.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, then. If there's no other statements, we'll take it to a vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
I oppose.
Okay. One opposition, Mr. Raymond Hatton. Motion passes. Thank you. All right. Next resolution is 1-2-2021. It's a resolution to authorize the mayor to execute an interlocal agreement for the library. Part of this year's budget is to partner with and work with Ms. Deborah Moore at our library and help support exactly what it is that they do to educate our community and our children and provide needs. And so we're asking to support them with a monthly donation of $220 a month. And to do that, we need to execute an interlocal agreement. And so that's what you guys have in your packet. With that, I'll take a motion to approve resolution 1-2-2021.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Okay, I got a motion by Ms. Elmore, and I heard Ms. Alice Bridges first with the second. So Ginger, if you would.
Okay. Jerry, I think you were asking, I think the mayor misspoke. It wasn't a motion to approve that he just did. It was a motion to
Put it on the floor.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. I was just making sure I didn't miss that. Okay.
Yeah, I must have misspoke. I didn't even hear myself. So yeah, we're asking to put it on the floor so we can read it. Thank you.
Resolution 1-2-2021, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Lonoke, Arkansas to execute an interlocal cooperative agreement for the Lonoke County Library System. Whereas it is necessary and in the best interest of the Lonoke County Library System that an interlocal cooperative agreement be entered into between Lonoke County and the city of Lonoke. And whereas both entities have reached an agreement and understanding by which has been reduced to writing and is attached to this resolution and is agreed upon by all entities. Whereas the city of Lonoke recognizes the need for this interlocal cooperative agreement for the benefit and operation of the Lonoke County Library System. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the City Council of Lonoke, Arkansas, that the mayor of Lonoke is hereby authorized on behalf of the city of Lonoke to execute the attached interlocal cooperative agreement for the Lonoke County Library System on behalf of the city of Lonoke, Arkansas. Again, I'll go ahead and read the agreement as well, I guess. Agreement for supplemental library programming support for the Marjorie Mccrary Memorial Library. Whereas the city of Lonoke wishes to invest in its community by monthly financial support of the Lonoke Library, Marjorie Mccrary Memorial Library, to be used in the purchase of supplies to support and reinforce programming for children, teens, and adults of the Lonoke community. And whereas the city of Lonoke and the Lonoke County Library System wish to enter into an agreement for such community investment as authorized by Arkansas Constitution Amendment 30, Amendment 38, Arkansas Code annotated sections 13-2-402, 404, 13-2-502 through 509, inter alia. And whereas Mayor Reed and Director Moore have been authorized to execute this agreement by the Lonoke City Council and Lonoke County Library System respectively, and whereas it is through this partnership that library services will provide a safe, open, and educational environment for the citizens of Lonoke, equal access to library resources, current and future technologies, and educational lifelong learning through programming opportunities for Lonoke citizenry may enhance each citizen's welfare, happiness, and standard of living. Now, therefore, in consideration of the mutual promises contained herein, the city of Lonoke and the Lonoke County Library System agree as follows. Number one, the city of Lonoke agrees to invest a minimum of $220 per month in the Lonoke County Library System to be used in the purchase of the supplies to support and reinforce programming for children, teens, and adults in the Lonoke community. And the Lonoke County Library System agrees to use the funds specifically for that purpose. Number two, this agreement shall be supplemental to and does not replace any existing agreements, relationship, or partnership between the City of Lonoke and the Lonoke County Library System. Number three, this agreement shall continue in full force and effect until terminated by either party via written notice to the other party. Number four, for all the benefits and reasons described herein, it's hereby found and determined that the agreement is in the best interest of the City of Lonoke and the Lonoke County Library System. And that's it.
Thank you.
Motion to accept the reading.
Thank you, sir. I got a motion by Ephraim Jones. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Kelly. Rather, any questions or discussion items?
Was it determined the amount that we're going to give? And is it commensurate with what other communities in the county are doing?
So, yeah, absolutely good question. I should have told you that before we started. I asked Ms. Moore the question, how much were other communities contributing? And I believe you told me the highest that you had was $200. And I don't remember who that came from, so I'm not going to misspeak. But I told Ms. Moore that I would ask the city council for $220 a month and set an example that the library is important to our community. And that's how we decided on $220. So it's 10% more than the other nearest city in the county that I could find.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. All in favor? Say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, resolution carries. Thank you very much. Next is resolution 1-3-2021. It's a resolution to set a date for a public hearing to partially vacate an alley. It's block 7, Hicks and Reynolds Street. And so this is simply protocol. We have a request to shut down half of an alley block. And we need to set a public hearing for that procedure.
I'll make the motion to put the reading of the resolution on the floor.
Thank you, sir. I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
Second by Raymond.
Motion made by Ephraim Jones and seconded by Raymond Hatton.
Resolution 1-3-2021, a resolution to set a date for public hearing on a petition to vacate a portion of an alley. Whereas Lee David Holmes, Billy W. Hurst, and Amelia H. Muse, executor of the Byron E. Holmes estate, did on the 8th day of December 2020 file with the City of Lonoke a petition to vacate the east 150 feet of the alley which runs east and west through Block 7 of Hicks and Reynolds Survey in the town of Lonoke, Lonoke County, Arkansas. And whereas pursuant to Arkansas Code Annotated Section 14-301-302, the City Council of the City of Lonoke, Arkansas is to set a day for said hearing, for the hearing of said petition. Now therefore be it resolved that a public hearing will be held at 5:45 p.m. on the 8th day of February 2021 at the City of Lonoke Council Room located at 107 West 2nd Street, Lonoke, Arkansas, to hear the petition of Lee David Holmes, Billy W. Hurst, and Amelia H. Muse, executor of the Byron E. Holmes estate, praying that the above referenced portion of the alley be vacated pursuant to council action.
I'll take a motion to accept the first reading.
Motion to approve the first reading.
Motion moved to accept the.
I think there was a delay. I got a motion by Ms. Bridges, and I need a second. I know Ms. Suzette jumped in there. Is that a second, Ms. Elmore?
A second.
All right, very well,
Suzette.
Chair Beth. All right. Any questions on it? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the resolution passes. Last on the list is Ordinance 774. That is an ordinance that's going to allow us to amend the Unified Development Code, which will allow the development of two-family dwellings in the C2 district. Karen Dill is the chair of the Planning Commission. She's here if anybody has any questions. But this was a developer who followed a process, came to the Planning Commission, propositioned the Planning Commission to make a change. They discussed it. The planning commission approved it. Now it's here for city council's approval.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to put that ordinance on the floor.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second? I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
I second it, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. I got a motion by Ephraim Jones and a second by Raymond Hatton.
Ordinance number 774, an ordinance amending the Lonoke Unified Development Code, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. Whereas the Planning Commission for the City of Lonoke, Arkansas has, pursuant to section 4.16 of the Lonoke Unified Development Code, conducted a public hearing upon proposed amendments to the code text heretofore adopted by the City Council for the City of Lonoke. And whereas the Planning Commission for the City of Lonoke, Arkansas has, upon conclusion of said public hearing, made a finding of fact that the amendments to the Unified Development Code text are consistent with the purposes of the code and the plans adopted by said Planning Commission. And whereas upon the aforesaid finding of fact, Planning Commission has recommended to the City Council the amendments to the Unified Development Code text. And whereas the City Council has reviewed the requested code changes. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council for the City of Lonoke, Arkansas, Part 1, existing sections of the Lonoke Unified Development Code shall be amended as follows. Revise section 4.4.2 to permit dwellings two-family in the C2 zoning district. Part 2, the regulation and preservation of property uses and values in accordance with a comprehensive plan and the continued utilization of lands within the City of Lonoke in accordance therewith, being necessary for the preservation of the public peace, health, safety, and welfare. An emergency is hereby declared, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage.
Make a motion to accept the first reading.
Thanks, sir. Any second?
Second.
All right, motion by Ephraim Jones and seconded by Ms. Bridges. Are there any questions? Take it to a vote then. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, motion passes. I'll take a motion now to suspend the rules for the second and third reading. Title only, please.
So
Make
moved.
the motion. Second.
Thank you, sir. I got a motion by Coy Butler and seconded by Ephraim Jones.
Ordinance number 774, an ordinance amending the Lonoke Unified Development Code, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
I'll take it now. A motion to accept the second, third reading. Title only.
So moved.
Second, Coy Butler.
Thank you. Motion's made by Ms. Bridges, seconded by Coy Butler. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? That motion carries. Take a motion to adopt ordinance 774.
Motion to adopt.
Do I have a second?
Second, Miss Elmore.
Got a motion by Ephraim Jones and seconded by Ms. Elmore. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries now. I'll take a motion to adopt the emergency clause.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
Coy Butler.
Okay, so I got a motion by, I believe, Raymond and seconded by Coy Butler. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, that passes, and that's all the business we got tonight. It's up to pay the bills. So I'll take a motion to approve the bills.
So moved, Coy Butler.
Second, Ephraim.
Motion made by Coy Butler and seconded by Ephraim Jones. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, two quick announcements. Don't forget your financial statements of interest are due to Regina by the end of the month. Please get those in, and we will be having budget approval on the 25th of January for a special city council at 6 p.m. Are there any other comments from the council?
Mr. Mayor, this is Ryan. Just want to welcome our new colleague, Kelly Rather, to the council.
Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you.
All right, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved, Boy Butler.
All right.
Second, Jones.
Thank you for the second. No objections? You guys have a good night. See you.